Welcome back to another roundtable, and today we're going to talk about the World Cup.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So, have you guys been watching the World Cup?
Yes, been following.
You've been following quite a bit.
Yeah.
Some pretty interesting results so far.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've always been a fan of the World Cup. I think my first one was probably 1994. I was still pretty young. Can't remember much about it.
Well, that's very long time.
A long time ago, yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of know my age as well. How long I've been watching football. So what does the World Cup and football have to do with investing? So we're going to talk about how you can build,
World Cup winning portfolio.
a World Cup winning. I mean, not to win the World Cup, but I guess there's some similarities when it comes to how you build a team and how you build a portfolio.
Yes.
And
yeah.
I think for football fans, this will be quite interesting for you guys.
Yeah.
And how there's some similarities between how you build both things. All right. So the thing with football, I think for those who don't know, we just do a really quick discussion about this. Basically, you have a team of 11 players, 1 goalkeeper, and 10 outfield players. All right. So and then these players they're playing a formation.
Yeah.
Right. So you have like a 4-3-3, 4-4-2, which is a bit outdated nowadays, and or 4-5-1 or 5-3-2. So different formations for different styles of play. All right.
Yep.
And it's the same when it comes to a portfolio and how we're gonna kind of explain that right now as well. All right. So how are we gonna do this? Well, I guess we should start with the top, right? So there are different positions when it comes to football teams.
Yep.
Your forwards, your midfielders, defenders, and then your goalkeepers.
Yeah.
So we're going to use them to explain how your stocks are like in your portfolio as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So why don't you take it away, guys?
Yep. So the first one I think is the forward,
Yep.
which is the striker,
Yep.
right? So they are usually I would say that it's like your growth stock, right?
Yeah.
They are the one that's scoring the goal, right? They give you the highest win, right?
Mhm.
You usually the strikers are the one that's scoring, right?
Scoring goals, yeah.
and scoring the most goals, right? So for growth stocks, they are usually the one that generates the most returns, right?
Mhm.
Right. But there's of course there's higher risk, right? That they don't score the goals and all this, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Then you have the midfielder,
Mhm.
where they also play a bit of defense. They play a bit attack. They're not totally into scoring, but they also into defensive and all this. They are like your stalwarts, right?
Mhm.
Your companies that have strong moats.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They still grow. They grow steadily, but they don't grow at a very high rate, but it's a mid-teens rate,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I think the best example is your mama stock, your fangs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Those
Yeah.
will be
So that is your midfielder,
Okay.
right? Then you have your defender, right? Which is your more of like slow grower, your income stock, your defensive stocks, right? Regardless of any economic crisis or anything, they still hold up very well, right? But they don't grow that much. Right.
They don't really score the goals.
Yeah, they don't really score.
But they're
the goal.
there to kind of like provide the foundation.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
For your
Yeah.
team.
Correct. And finally, you have your goalkeeper, which is the cash, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it helps you save the cash.
You're gonna save you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think before you start investing,
Yeah.
you need cash.
Cash,
yeah,
your
correct.
savings to make sure that everything's taken care
So
of.
you need lots of goalkeepers.
or just one really good goalkeeper, which like means like you have a lot of cash.
Yeah, correct.
So basically, you need a goalkeeper to save you.
Yes,
Mm.
correct,
You know,
correct.
anything happens that you have cash to take care of you. So that's what the
Yes.
goalkeeper is for, to
Yeah.
save you. So we have different positions and
Yeah.
different roles in football, and the
Yeah.
same in your stock portfolio. So it's kind of
Yes.
like you have 10 outfield players,
Yeah, 10 stocks.
10 stocks in your portfolio,
Yeah.
and how you want to line them up.
Yes. And now you're officially a football manager.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you decide what formation you want your team to play
Okay.
on the field ground, right?
Yeah.
So some investors, maybe they are more comfortable taking risks, so they can do a formation that is actually more aggressive. Then you can of course look at those growth stock,
Mhm.
okay, and those growth stock typically come with higher risk,
Mhm.
but they are the one that score you the most return,
Mhm.
right? So
Yep.
you get the best return, 15-20% CAGR possible, 30%, 40%.
Yeah.
Companies like Tesla is probably one good example, right? And they are growing very, very fast. Or SaaS stocks, right? Software as a service companies. Yeah, but of course, there are some people who are more risk averse, but at the same time, they want to take risks. Then they were more tilted towards moderate, type of formation.
Mhm.
You have attackers, you're also a defender, right? A midfielder.
Mhm.
So what's a very aggressive formation?
I mean, if let's say you're, I think usually most football teams, they will at least have 3 or 4 defenders,
Yeah.
right? No one usually plays with no defenders. That's like suicide.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're investing like that,
Yeah.
it's quite dangerous, like in football as well.
Yeah.
But the most attacking formation probably right now will be like a 3-4-3.
3-4-3. So that means your defensive stock only 3.
Yeah.
Your 4 of them is on the stalwarts and 3 of them on the high growth stocks.
I think that will be the most standardized attacking formation. Yeah. I mean, if you're losing in the game and then you want to throw in more attackers, you can go like 4 forwards, 5 forwards sometimes.
Okay.
And you try to get something from the game. That can happen.
But there are people who invest, 8 forward to midfield.
That's
the YOLO style, right?
You're gonna that could maybe you can score a lot of goals, but you'll be conceding a lot as well. And then you end up losing the game. So it's kind of like I guess when it comes to your stock portfolio, you could make a lot of return potentially, but you can lose a lot as well. So if you net everything off, you lose the game.
But of course you are assuming that all your forwards are good, but what if your forwards are bad?
That's true. That's true. Doesn't mean you have a forward they're definitely going to score goals. There are so many forwards that can't score goals.
That's why I always say that it's a YOLO portfolio.
I think football investing is about the same, right? Because football also sometimes requires some luck for the scoring, right?
Yes, there's a bit of luck.
Also, there's a luck element also.
There's a luck element and there's management as well. So you can prepare the best you can, but they say the ball is round. Anything can happen on the pitch. So the big teams can lose to the small teams as well, because that's the beauty of the game. And yes, there's luck in investing as well.
Correct.
So I think when it comes to how you want to play, like you said, the most attacking formation is I think probably 3-4-3. But some teams they just go out all defense 5-4-1. Or maybe sometimes no striker. Everyone's in the midfield as well. And some people invest that way. They just I'm happy with just being defensive. I don't want to lose games. Basically, I'm not happy. I don't need to score a lot of goals. I just want to make sure I don't lose, I don't concede a lot. So some people are like that. So I guess everyone's a manager of your own portfolio, like a football team. And how you want to play is really up to you. How aggressive, how offensive or defensive you want to be.
Of course, when we talk about managing a portfolio as managing a football team, it's the whole idea here is of course to manage your risk, right? So you don't invest in just one single player. You have 10 stocks in a portfolio. So of course you some people may be more comfortable having more. So it's almost like having a squad team, or it can be 20 plus stocks in the entire portfolio. So and of course in football you only have 11 players max on the ground, on the field, and sometimes let's say if you have a portfolio of only 10-11 stocks, right? You just want to put the best in your portfolio, right? You want the best of the best, the companies in that industry, the best of the best in that.
You basically play your best team.
Yes, best team, right? So of course there are times where your player get injured, all right, for whatever reason, and they
Profit went down.
Probably went down for companies, and the industry change, the dynamic change, and you have to swap it out, and you want to have a list of watch lists that are companies that you're already eyeing very closely, that you can use it to replace the one that you have in the portfolio. Right? This happens in soccer. The same thing, you have to do it for your portfolio.
Which is the subs.
Your subs. Your one of your first team players gets injured.
You can start Ronaldo in, right?
Start Ronaldo in. Okay, he's a sub nowadays. So I mean the same thing. Like Ronaldo is pretty old.
Ronaldo is your Coca-Cola already.
Maybe not. I think maybe a sunset industry on the way out, but one of the best ever.
No offense.
I'm a Cristiano Ronaldo fan as well.
Just a joke.
I think Messi is better though, even though I'm a Ronaldo fan too. So back to the point is basically you have different formations in football. You have different formations in your portfolio, and it really depends on you. But you can't play with all forwards. Really risky, because let's say you went all strikers and all growth, and what happened the last 2 years? You went really all the way up, and then
you literally see a mountain.
Everything is just down.
You went up and down.
Just like that.
You create a mountain by yourself.
You don't want to. You don't want to play football. You don't want to invest like that as well. And at the same time, you can play with all defenders, but you're not going to win a lot of games. Because they're not going to score you a lot of goals. But you can be sure that you're always in the game.
I think the best example would be the ARK funds. It's all forward.
Which one?
ARK investing.
ARK.
ARK
investing.
I think her style is basically all forwards.
So it didn't work out so well. And of course, you just can't play with goalkeepers.
I mean, you can win like 1 game, 2 game. You score a lot. You score a lot, right? But you don't win the league. You know?
Yeah, correct.
Right.
So there's this famous quote by Sir Alex Ferguson: "Attack wins you games, but it's the defense that wins you the titles,
Oh, yes,
the
well said.
championship."
Yes.
Yep.
So
Very well said.
I mean, yes, the attackers will give you the goals, but you need to build it on the solid foundation, and the defense and maybe part of the midfield, the spine, is there to like make sure that you're always in the game, because you like when it comes to investing, you don't want to bust out. You want to always be in the game.
Yeah.
So attackers win you games, but the defense wins you titles.
Yep.
So that's the point of investing. You want to you want to have your portfolio at the end of the day still,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, when you retire at 50, 60, whatever it is.
I think it's just all about looking at the risk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You want to make sure that you take the minimum risk but with the highest amount of upside.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's basically, I think it can be applied in investing, also can be applied in soccer also.
Yeah.
I think you have a
But pretty interesting stat.
Yeah.
I mean, since it's the World Cup now, I went to have a look at the last, I think, 6 World Cups, not including this one. So all the way back to 1998 in France. And you know, the interesting thing is, I went to look at all the champions of those World Cups, right? Those that won the World Cup. And to win the World Cup, you had to play 7 games all the way to the final. Do you know what the average number of goals that these champions conceded? So I'm not talking about the attack. They all score goals because they're good teams. But how many goals did they concede on the way to winning the World Cup?
Less than 10.
I mean, if you're considering 10, is definitely less than 10.
Yeah.
So the stat is they usually concede 2 to 4 goals. That's it. So
For
they
the whole
Wow.
game?
the whole
Seven.
tournament.
The whole 7
games.
thoughts.
Oh.
7 games. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like they only conceded 2 to 4 on average. So they have one of the best defenses,
Wow.
and that allows them to win the whole thing. So like the quote is actually really true. Attacks wins you games, but the defense
Defenders.
wins you the titles.
Titles,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think you can apply that to your portfolio as well. I mean, if you're really gung ho, some people are like that. You just want to go attack, and then you invest that way. It can be quite a roller coaster.
Yes.
So you want to make sure you always have a spine and a foundation for your portfolio as well.
Yeah.
Same for football. All right. So I hope that was really interesting for you guys, especially since it's World Cup season. I always love the World Cup when it's when it's happening. It's like a month-long party for the whole world.
Yep.
Yes,
Because it's the
yes,
biggest sport in the world.
The
Right?
only games that bring everyone together.
Yeah, it's twice as large as the Olympics. It's like a party that the whole world is participating in.
Yeah.
So I love the World Cup. So I hope you are a football fan as well and you're enjoying the World Cup right now. And if you're a football fan, how this pretty fun discussion on how there's some similarities when it comes to managing your portfolio as well. All right, so I think that's a pretty good wrap up, right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so my name's Adam. That is Rusmin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is Victor. Of course. And I hope you really enjoyed this roundtable. Before we go, I just want to ask you, who do you think is going to win the World Cup? Who's your pick? Or who do you want to win?
Argentina, but they lost the first
Argentina.
game.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, I'm not so sure. I'm not watching it, but maybe France.
France, yeah, good team. All right. And for me, Argentina as well. I would love to see
Yeah.
Messi win the World
come
Cup,
back, yeah,
actually.
come back again, yeah.
That would be, so we'll see what happens. All right. So thank you so much for watching this. Any questions about this, put them in the comment section. If you like this roundtable, please hit the like button. And of course, subscribe to our channel. Maybe more roundtables coming up. And of course, enjoy the World Cup. And we'll see who comes up as the champion at the end of the tournament. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you around again.